I was doing pretty good. I was doing
Yep,
pretty good
yep.
until, something happened.
Yeah, I know.
All of a sudden, I wasn't doing
got
too
it.
well.
Shannon Sharp, in all my years, I've never experienced any year like 2020. And I must say, it is a pleasure and honor to be able to try to make sense of 2020 right here with you.
Yeah, you think 2021 can hurry up and get here?
I don't know.
I agree with you guys about that. It's good. It's appropriate. I like that move. Guys, Steven Jackson will also be joining us from Minneapolis later on. We also have Killer Mike joining the show. I am so looking forward to hearing from him. But Shannon, you mentioned you were doing good until something happened yesterday, and that is some controversial comments that we heard from Drew Brees, and I'm going to get right into it. In an interview with Yahoo Finance, Drew Brees said he could, quote, never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America. Brees said he stands with his teammates for their fight for equality, but also that he stands with family members who have served in the military. Brees was heavily criticized by many athletes, including teammates Michael Thomas and Malcolm Jenkins. Drew Brees did issue an apology this morning on Instagram. Shannon, your thoughts? Are you surprised by this? What's your reaction?
No, and what's made the black fight so hard is people like Drew Brees, Skip, because if you can't get a guy that grew up with blacks in the locker room, from pee-wee to high school to college to the NFL, to understand the black man's plight, who will? What about guys that's not around blacks on a daily basis, that have not been around blacks on a daily basis like Drew Brees? Drew Brees said something, Skip, that I found insulting, to be quite honest with you. He said, my grandfathers fought in World War II. I did not know two men won World War II, Skip. They should be commended. But did he know that black men fought alongside his grandfather in World War II, although in segregated militaries? Skip, they were fighting in a foreign land for a freedom that when they came home, they did not enjoy like Drew Brees' grandfathers did. Did Drew know that black men that wore military, when they came home, that were caught in their military uniforms, a lot of times were beaten, jailed, and even killed? Does he realize that, Skip, that every war that's ever been fought in American history, black men have fought valiantly in that war? In the Revolutionary War, Skip, they said the blacks were fighting for their master's freedom, freedom that they were not going to get, even though they were told, if you pick up arms and fight alongside us, upon you returning, you could gain your freedom. When they came back home, Skip, guess what? They were enslaved again. And a lot of reasons, Skip, George Washington signed the Military Act in 1792 saying blacks couldn't join the military.
Yep.
They fought so well, and some of the officers said they fought so well and valiantly, he took it out. But guess what the British did? British said, if you run away and fight with us, we'll give you your freedom. And immediately George Washington rescinded the order. I can't believe you, Drew. What would make you think at this moment, Skip, 8-9 days after George Floyd had lost his life, that you would bring up the military and the flag again, Skip? I told you, Skip, if you want to talk about B, and I don't want to talk about B, I'm going to talk about C, I'm going to talk about D, I'm going to talk about everything except what you want to talk about, because that's an issue I do not want to face. Drew, blacks fought in World War II alongside your grandfather and did not have the freedoms that they had when they came home, Skip, although they had sacrificed the exact same thing as his grandfathers did. So let me get this straight, Skip. I sacrifice as much as you do in a foreign land fighting for freedom for people that when I get home, I don't get. And Drew's like, that flag means so much. Drew, do you realize, think about the black man, that flag, for 250 years in slavery, another 150 years of 100 years of Jim Crow. And so you automatically assume that a black man should feel the same pride for the flag as you and your grandfathers? Skip, that's what makes me upset, Skip, is that some think that only whites served in the military. Man, that flag means so much. My grandfather, my great-grandfather. I guarantee you, if you poll some players in the NFL, they have grandfathers or great-grandfathers that served in World War II and World War I. Skip, this is what was said. In August of 1917, there was a senator from Missouri named James Vardaman, and he warned that once a black soldier was allowed to see himself as an American hero, it was one step to the conclusion that his political rights must be respected. Bringing black soldiers home to the South with the expectation of equality, he predicted, would inevitably lead to disaster. He said black soldiers as potential community leaders would be terrifying and a disaster and would be a mass movement for the African-American rights. Even though they went overseas to fight for freedoms, when they came home, they were not to enjoy that. And Drew Brees still doesn't seem to get it. Now, he issued an apology, Skip, but it's meaningless because the guys know that he spoke his heart the very first time around.
Correct.
Now, I don't know what Drew's going to do, but he probably should just go ahead and retire now. It will never be the same. Take it from a guy that's been a leader in a locker room for a number of years. At every step, Skip, I've been the leader in the locker room. What he said, they go like, oh, yeah, no, they will never look at him the same because he spoke his heart and Skip, and what he said, it wasn't what